There.
Oh boy. Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. The defending Leagues Cup champions have been knocked out of the Leagues Cup by the reigning MLS champions, Columbus Crew, in a comeback victory for them, 3-2. My name's Julio. I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, I want to thank you for joining us on this end of the road for Inter Miami in the Leagues Cup. For those of you watching live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. And a huge shout out to our chief, Heron Heads Matias, Ciao, Abu Aba, and Marivi. Thank you for your continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, commiserate some more on Discord, check out our merch store so you can get cool stuff like this. Check out the links in the description. But all that aside, tough outcome. I feel like there's a lot of things we could have done differently. So I think I know how we're feeling, but how are you guys feeling?
I mean,
Dave, you go first. I'm just gonna keep looking for things to say Tata out and Tata sucks. So
okay. Yeah, obviously not feeling great. It stinks because this is a match that I think when we first saw the lineup, I think everybody felt the same way. We're like, oh, here we go. Noah Allen starting, not our usual 4-3-3. But I mean, it worked. We came out 2-0. At that point, you feel good going into the half 2-0. And then you see the other team makes substitutions at the half, and it takes us a long time to make a sub. And then the sub is Rojas out for Gressel. And then you don't see another sub until the 80th minute and 82nd minute, and it's too little too late. And yeah, everybody's saying Tata out, but I mean, Tata's made such good moves leading up to this point, and even the starting lineup seemed to have worked. And then so you can't even put too much on him, but yeah, you have to be aware to make that adjustment. You see, you have older players and you have guys who are playing 80, 90 minutes without any replacements coming in, and you have the deepest bench that you've had in a while. So yeah, this is extremely disappointing to see the flurry of goals come in, and then also all the opportunities that we had to score. It's an extremely disappointing game on many levels, and yeah, I see that Tata's out. I see all the Tatas out, and
I wish
I don't disagree. And in this very moment, heat of the moment reaction.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think Tata sets up and has been setting up the lineup well, despite how crazy they've looked. I mean, the lineup tonight, as soon as the lineup came out, all of us, Chris included, who's not with us right now, we were all like, oh, this is a disaster. Like, we thought this was going to be a tough game. It's going to be next to impossible with this lineup. And it's been good. But the knock that we've always had with Tata, or one of the knocks that we've always had against him, is that his in-game management is awful. Like, it was so obvious changes that could have been made. Suarez looked so gassed after the 40th minute. And granted, he made a great play to get Gomez the second goal. But Suarez looked exhausted by the 40th minute. Chelo was playing really poorly and was at fault at least somewhat for maybe all of the goals. There was just obvious things that he should have done differently. He should have made changes by the 65th minute. Columbus controlled the entire second half. Like, even though we scored the second goal in there, it was all counters that we had. But they controlled the pace of the entire second half. And Tata waited way too long to make meaningful changes to the game. Like, even Gressel for Rojas. To me, I saw Gressel and I was like, oh, he's coming off for Chelo. To take off Rojas, who was one of the more dynamic players for us in the game, it didn't allow us to diffuse the pressure that kept building up when Columbus had the ball. And we just had no way to get out of our end in a meaningful way, except for the goal that we scored. But outside of that, it was just play it up to Suarez. He would hold it up. He was either isolated and couldn't pass it off to anyone, or we just gave it right back. It was really bad in-game management from Tata, as has been his detriment, or his bad facet, his weakness. I'm so flustered, man. His weakness in Inter Miami for a long time. It's brutal, man. Brutal. Like, so frustrating.
The thing is, like, I disagree with both of you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because yes, while I think initially he did make the right stuff that we none of us really thought would be, something that we would have done, right? I feel like he was changing formation, just really tinkering on a lot of things. But the problem is that as the game wears on, I feel like you have to be able to say, which this is where we agree, where he did not become the guy changing the plans as the game unfolds, right? Like, as the game unfolded, you totally saw the change in momentum after those two goals. First of all, after those first two goals, I felt like they were just counters. I feel, right. Like, I felt like it was high press and counters. That was not offense that we developed at all. So with our offense never trying to get past the halfway mark, I felt like we just couldn't get past the into their territory very often with a balanced attack. But what really set me off is that you're there. You have a tool lead, and you're like, all right, we're all feeling pretty good in the sense of, like, I felt at that point like we were stealing this game. I didn't feel like we were taking it, right. Like, I felt like it was like one of those things where they just keep messing up, and we just keep getting the ball in perfect spots, and we just happen to find the ball in perfect spots, and we put it in the back of the net. But what was annoying, man, is that when they were getting a little bit better on offense. First of all, when they made their halftime adjustment, where they
bringing on Ramirez,
that right there, that you could tell they were in it to win it at that point, and you could tell at that point we're like, well, what are we gonna do to counter that, right? All that I saw to counter was Boosie saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. This is what we're gonna do." I didn't see anything else really, like, from that's where I had the issue with that, where I'm like you could have given these guys a little more support. Like, Chelo's obviously suffering back there. I felt like I think two of the three goals, I felt like he did something wrong in those plays. Two of the three goals, it could have been something that he did in just a blunder. So then you're looking at Ian Frey, where I feel like every time he's playing, he's a bright spot. Like, why not give the guy a chance? If there's anything that we have in this particular team right now without Messi, is that we have to use our bench. We have to use our guys that give us the difference with all these other teams. Columbus is a very talented team. That's what I took away from this game also, where they just kept on, and they had no fight. They had a lot of fight in them, and they didn't want to just relinquish this game to us. But I liked our fight too, and you saw it at the end. But the problem is that we didn't have the right fighters. We didn't put the right guys to succeed. And that's on Tata. That's why this game is on Tata. You're up 2-0. You see the first goal go in, and you're it felt like we're parking the bus. It felt like we're parking the bus, and we just didn't care to play offense. And I was like, all right, what are we doing here?
100%. That's what that change was when he took Rojas out to put in Gressel. That felt like a park the bus move, because you see how much we struggle to score on, and since we haven't had Messi, our like front attack doesn't score at will. It's been nice. Rojas is one of those players who has had an easier time scoring. Gomez in this game, fantastic. He had the assist, which was a steal and then an assist. So great on Gomez. And then he had the goal as well, the given goal, beautiful given goal with Suarez. But just from pure attacking and striking the ball, we haven't had anybody really put a really good foot on the ball other than Rojas. Rojas has been the guy. And then look, you take him out, and then how nice would it have been to have him there at that last flurry? Like, if you're gonna have somebody one time it, you would really like to have Rojas in the box there. And we didn't have it. And I agree with you, Jose. It looked like he was content 2-0 and then just parking the bus. And then once they were 2-2, it kind of looked like he just wanted to get to penalties. It didn't look like they were trying to win this game. And yeah, they showed fight, but they're already down 3-2.
Way too late.
They're down 3-2, showing that fight. When it was 2-2, they looked dead still.
And I'm gonna tell you, we were up 2-0. I'm gonna tell you the next thing that I did. I looked at my phone and I went on Hard Rock Bets, and I was like, "This ain't gonna stay at 2-0." It wasn't. I didn't think it was gonna be so bad. Like I didn't think it was gonna turn into 3-2. I really did not. But I was like, the way we're managing this game, we're just managing not to like lose or take it to overtime. If like just extra, not even the extra time, but the penalties. Because I was like what do we like? What how this is stupid. It just felt stupid, and I felt like they were getting deeper and deeper into our just getting more and more shots that I was like, okay, that was okay, that was a little closer. Oh, okay, that was a little rough. And brother, we can't play. Luckily, we have 2 weeks where we can rest, and hopefully by the time Messi will come back. How about
I
So what did you go on Hard Rock Bet to do?
just to see? I was just curious on like, okay, what's the plus or minus right now for? Literally, I don't think Miami will sustain this lead. Straight up,
Okay, but you didn't do anything about it.
no,
You just
no, I
wanted
did not.
to observe
I was just like,
for research purposes.
for research purposes, and yeah, and we were the favorites to win, obviously. But I was like, this is a very beautiful bet because it was because if you didn't watch what was happening, you would think, oh, they're up 2-0, they're dominating. No, they really weren't. They really
Yeah.
weren't.
Yeah, I mean, it also goes to show how good of a coach Nancy is, and that's why so many people think that he's probably one of the best American managing talents available right now. He ran circles around Tata in the second half. Tata set up a really good game plan, but like halfway through the game, you gotta adjust, man. We frustrated Columbus. I don't think Columbus had a shot on target the entire first half.
It was bad.
And it was just pure frustration. We were getting under their skin. We were making shots really difficult, and it is hard to sustain that. And you have to give these guys support and be able to sub them off when they're working like dogs out there. They were hustling, getting to balls. The first goal came directly from a press situation, but that takes a toll later in the game. And if you're gonna play that way, you have to be willing to make adjustments, and that just refused, man. And it it's so disheartening because we really had the match, regardless of us never controlling attacking play. Like the plan worked, and then there was no follow through in what the next step was. It was like, okay, we're gonna score 2 and hope that Columbus, one of the best, especially home teams, doesn't come back. And they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, and then the third one came and the absolute backbreaker.
What's even more frustrating is like for the lack of adjustments, that cello substitution was smacking him in the face of how obvious it was. Not only was he not playing well all match, he played on a yellow like what 70 minutes into this game, 70 minutes on
Yep.
a yellow while playing poorly, and he doesn't get subbed off. Like what are we doing? Like I get it. You have this vision in mind of what you want to happen, but you have to be able to adjust to the reality of the fact. And it's frustrating. There's no way around it. This is very frustrating, and it is on Tata. Like the players did what they could, honestly.
Yeah, I'm shocked Frey didn't start, to be quite frank with you. I am
If not now, when?
really shocked. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't played in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and not to say that he would have been rusty or not rusty. It's just, why are we not playing him? You know, like why are we acting indebted to Chelo? Because we transferred him in? Because he's not a homegrown youth academy talent? I don't understand the mindset, and that's part of the frustration. Is like, we have a player who's clearly developing, clearly becoming a better player. We're trying to make sure that he's a consistent player, but we're not letting him play. Like I don't understand the mentality, the rationale, the reasoning why you wouldn't play Ian Frey, why you wouldn't start him, give him a shot. His Ian Frey's coming out party was against Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone would have had confidence in that position, it would have been Ian Frey. I don't get it. Make it make sense, Jose.
There it is.
I just continue to press. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever. Least of the match. Let's go to that. He sucked. He sucked. It was a terrible whiff. And you want me to tell you what was worse? The fact that I wish the subs would have come on afterwards, just for my mind, just in my for my mental like happiness. I wish that we wouldn't have had that surge at the end, because now it makes you think like man, what could it have what could it have looked like had he done it 10 minutes earlier? You know what I'm saying? With that same level of urgency that we played with. Just why did I have to get to extra time to put that next gear? The gear that I felt that remember and when we talked about it on the Discord, these guys have another gear. The Columbus, you could tell they have another gear, but we do too. And it's unfortunate that it got to extra time for us to say, "Now let's turn it up." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. So, least of the match. I'm just gonna guess Chelo because I was so disappointed with his performance tonight.
Why?
The yellow card early, out of position all the time. There was a point where Gressel had already come on, and for whatever reason, Chelo took it upon himself to switch with Gressel. So then Gressel was playing at right back, but Chelo was up at right wing. And I was just like, dude, they didn't even have the ball. And he just stayed up there. He didn't allow Gressel to switch back with him. So I'm gonna say Chelo.
He's like, this is my time to shine.
Calendar allowed 3 goals, but he had some really good saves. So I don't know if he's rated the lowest or not. If he is, I think that's not entirely his fault.
We'll see shortly. You know,
It's got to be Chelo. Like that, I think he was the only one who actually got.
No, come on, right? Come on, pick another guy. Yeah, come on.
Noah Allen.
I think Noah Allen did okay.
There you go.
I really don't think it's Noah Allen. By the way,
they really are. Both of them. Noah Allen 6.5 and Chelo 6.3.
I thought Noah Allen.
If Noah Allen had a yellow card, he would have been in the 5s.
I'll tell you though, I think Noah Allen did a fine job in this game. I think only one of the goals was like his defensive assignment.
Julio
was his fault.
Towards the end when we were trying to like pick it up, and it kept going to Noah Allen. And I don't know how many times did you see when it would just he would just kick it up. And
you're interpreting something that I'm not saying. I think Noah Allen did fine for Noah Allen. Okay. I'm not saying he did good.
Mm-hmm.
He did good for Noah Allen because when I saw the starting lineup and saw Noah Allen was starting, I was like, we're entirely screwed.
That's a loss. Yeah,
that's a red card. We basically have a red card.
Relative to Noah Allen performances, this was a good Noah Allen performance.
Yeah, he didn't do anything that was mind-boggling, or
no,
he didn't look like a dwarf in defense. Like there was like he played serviceably for his standards. And yeah, there was one that he cleared the ball and it could have been a disaster because he cleared it right at an offending player. But we survived that. And again, yeah, he didn't do anything. Like he doesn't inspire confidence. So anytime that he's not terrible, you're like, oh, good Noah Allen.
And the goal that was his fault, it was also a very good play from Columbus.
And also the one that he literally didn't grab 100% and it turned into another array of shots that it was the one that hit the
again
post.
Noah Allen, not my favorite player by a long shot. He did good for Noah Allen. Like in the range of outcomes of Noah Allen performances, it was a better performance from Noah Allen.
It was a 6.5, and that's a good one for him.
Yeah. His cap is like a 7.
5.5 being terrible, 6.5 being pretty good.
Yeah,
7? I feel like he can get lower than 5.5.
Like Chelo's ceiling might be like 7.5, maybe a 7.7 if he's really feeling himself. If he hits a ball like he did when he was offside in an onside position, he could reach those heights.
Let me ask you a question with Chelo. And I like his. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this, and it's coming on a really bad day. It's literally least of the match. I feel like I like his defense, right? Hold on. Wait. Okay. So that's that. Wait. Right. But why does he do like I feel like he tries to do like a very like fun play in the worst possible place.
It's kind of like Noah Allen syndrome. Speaking of like
worse, Noah Allen has no control.
He doesn't know what he's trying to do.
That's true.
Chelo knows what he's trying to do, and he's trying to literally put it between the other guy's legs. And he's like,
when Chelo's on the ball, I think he's like, I'm gonna be the defensive Messi. Like I can make people look stupid, and then he like instantly loses the ball, and then he's like, how did that happen?
Oh man.
Yeah, and then we puts us
That's
in a
how he got
terrible
That's how he
position.
got how he allowed a penalty. Was it last match or
Last match,
the match
yeah.
before?
Yeah.
He was on the baseline and he's like, "Watch this," and
Yeah.
then he fouled the guy. I was like, "Come on, man! Just let the ball go out of bounds and concede the corner." But no. He's like, I'm gonna nutmeg this guy," and all he did was hit him in the nuts. I was like, "Come on, like."
So disappointing, man. Jose, let's talk about best of the match. I want because I feel like there were positives in this game, as frustrating as it is.
The man of the
Easy
match.
for us or total?
Ours. I don't care about anybody else.
Gomez. It has to be Gomez.
Has to be Gomez. I'll say the next best. I want to say Rojas.
Don't because I didn't care. I only liked him. Yeah, Gomez. 7.8.
okay.
That was him. I didn't even want to put the second best because the second best was like, nah. I
Who
disagree.
was the second best? Now I want to know.
It was
who's
Rojas
the-
or Suarez.
The second best was Rojas, 7.3, because he scored a goal.
Just really quick to answer this question. So what's left to play for this season now that the League's Cup is gone is Supporter Shield, which is essentially the regular season title in the MLS, and then the MLS Cup, which is the playoff format at the conclusion of the regular season. Yeah, dude, Gomez is incredible. And the midfield of Gomez, Bright, and Redondo is also incredible, regardless of today's outcome. That midfield is so fun. If we could, I mean, like, I almost feel like if David Martinez was in this match, we would have won.
I don't know if they start the same formation.
Agreed.
If David Martinez is in this match.
Agreed.
So then that becomes interesting what you do at the midfield.
Well, they possibly have
Gomez
more
up.
offensive. Like it would have made us more offensive. Whereas today, I feel like
what I'm saying is you put David Martinez for Noah Allen.
Yeah,
So you have
Busquets moves
Toto,
up.
Busquets moves up, and then so Busquets and Bright as your DMs, and then you push everybody up a little bit
we
more.
talked about this after the Toronto match a little bit, but that the midfield is so fun. That midfield is great. Yannick Bright again, I think, had a good game.
yeah,
He wasn't as like
he
didn't have as many plays, but Columbus also played way more on the sides, way more. The teams that we've matched up more recently, like Toronto, even Tigres, Yannick Bright was able to control the middle a little bit more, but Columbus played the wings a lot more frequently. So he didn't jump off the page as much. Redondo I thought was fine. He like does his thing and to me is fine, but Gomez like clearly a different level.
Yeah,
Definitely a cut above.
He put his stamp on the game, and you're seeing that more and more often where Gomez is just leaving you saying, "Wow!" And now you know why.
Yeah,
why he had the eyes of the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean he was all over the pitch. It is what it is. It's guys like him where I don't mind if you don't take him off the pitch all game, right?
Yeah, of course.
So he's young.
He also doesn't give you the impression that he's exhausted. Like like I said, Suarez at the 40th minute was hands on knees, taking deep breaths,
and still just dishing out amazing passes. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
He dished out like one good pass. He also had a really bad pass. So all that matters is that you make
just
a
one.
pass that
you just need one.
Shot,
you know?
The shot where he's like, watch this, guys.
Oh my gosh, the shot off the Gressel pass.
The one that towards the
put
end
in the last row that still hasn't landed.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it had the downward curve. It just downward landed on the second row.
Got it just a little wrong. Oh man, yeah. So now we get 2 weeks off. We get 2 weeks off, and then we get Cincinnati, don't we? Cincinnati's our return to the MLS.
This is Chris's job to look at.
I'm telling you, Cincinnati's next up.
Oh, I don't believe it until Chris says it. Until Chris says it, I don't believe it. We'll see.
Oh man,
August 24th.
Yeah,
we play Cincy.
There you go.
Okay, I believe it now.
At home, right?
Yeah, because I think last time we played up there,
Christoph. Yeah, I believe it's at home. Oh man, it is. This one's gonna sting for a bit because, like,
we got 2 weeks to stew on it, you know.
Yeah, and it sucks because we should have had it. It's different than Columbus racing ahead, like Cincinnati, the last match we had against Cincinnati, where they just raced ahead.
We had no
boat
one
raced us. Correct, but the point being, they boat raced us, and there was nothing to sort of feel like, oh, we had a chance. In this one, We literally had the game by the scruff of its neck and just let it slip away. Tata completely blew it, completely just let it go, man. Didn't make any changes. So I can't even say he didn't make the right changes. He didn't make the changes. And he blew it. Nancy ran circles around him. That's all she wrote.
We say
Yeah.
I know everybody's saying Tata out.
Oh boy.
No, and I tend to agree. But
Okay.
it's like you with this group, do you feel like most other managers can do more damage? Is that something that you believe? Sans Messi.
Do I think a different coach can do more damage?
Mm-hmm.
I think they are more competent. I feel like as a byproduct of the talent of this team, they will carry a manager quite far. You need someone to be able to just for these matches, right? To like tactically be sound. So yeah, I think there's other managers out there.
And I wonder if part of the issue is they feel like they need a name of gravitas. Like
that's
they can't
probably plays into
just
it a lot.
hire some random MLS caliber coach that they feel like they have to bring in a big name.
Probably.
And I don't know if there is a big. I know that Xavi's available, and people joke about Zidane and all these things, but like, how realistic is it for one of these guys to come here? Is this something that is actually?
I don't think it's realistic because those salary demands that these coaches would have, that these managers would have, would be unrealistic for the club.
I
Like
mean,
at the end of the day,
Mastech stock is up. Like these, come on.
yeah, but also realistically, like they're not going to use that to pay a manager a $16 million deal. Realistically,
Why?
it just is what it is. Because it's not.
Do you care about winning?
Do I care?
Yeah, Jorge Mas, Julio.
Oh man, yeah. I think there are plenty of managers out there that could do more in games like this. I think a lot of the success of this team under Tata is just a byproduct of the talent. I think there have been certain games that Tata has won because of the way he set up the team, but a lot of it I think is on the backs of just the talent that we have.
I see. Pocket. I don't even know how I feel about that.
No.
after what we saw with Chelsea, I mean, I don't think he was terrible with Chelsea.
The interesting thing is, like, I wonder how any of these European managers of that caliber would perform. Yeah, and how, just like, because you're taking memes aside, these are good managers that have had some form of success to get to the top division of any of the top 5 European leagues. I wonder how that translates to MLS, and would they just be a success as a byproduct of that?
Pac is in talks. Rumor has it he's in talks to coach Team USA.
Yeah.
I mean, would you rather coach Team USA or would you rather coach Messi?
I don't know. Coaching the U.S. men's national team seems like a kiss of death. They don't have the best track record.
Career ender.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. What do we got here? Without Messi, we never used to give a 5. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just for us, the best defense was a good offense, and we can't do that against teams like this, man, because they're just gonna, in a match just like this, they're gonna hold the ball and just pummel us until we break. And the defense, the way it's constructed, is not. It's not equipped. It's not equipped. It especially wasn't equipped tonight without David Martinez back there. It's a damn shame, is what it is.
Now let me pose a question this way, because maybe Henry Manuel is kind of onto something, right? Where maybe we're just looking at it because we had a heck of a surge at the end, and that draws us to say, oh, that's where Tata should have probably used the subs, that we have a deeper team. Perhaps we could have taken advantage of it, right?
Perhaps,
right? But
and so,
yeah, and it could have been that we were doing so well because it was towards the end already, so we had those subs come in. They're super hot and fresh. But could it just be that this is this is as far as we can get without Messi?
No, No,
Nah, man, we were winning in this game.
we mismanaged this game. Obviously, like,
How
it's
were we
very
winning, though?
clear. It's clear that that you
We
needed
were
to make substitutions, and he didn't make the substitutions until far too late. Yes, we had a flurry in the last 5 minutes of the game because guess what? You leave everything on the pitch. So yeah, any little bit of energy these guys have, they're gonna expend it. You're gonna push everybody into attack. We had two guys playing back. Of course we're going to have a flurry, but that's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe to get back in the game, to go to penalties. That's all that is. But when even, let's just say, those terrible 5 minutes where we give up 2 goals, make a damn change then. Obviously that they're taking advantage of you. Make the change then, and we still didn't do it. So yeah, this is not a personnel issue. This is a lack of usage of the personnel. We haven't had a bench this deep in a while, and Tata refuses to use it. What is he saving it for? They're like, and again, it's like he's trying to get to extra time. There is no extra time. It's just penalties. So I don't see the use of saving subs here. It's just a bad. It's on him. There's no way around it. This one is on him. You're up 2-0, and then you fall apart and you don't make subs. Like, if you fall apart and you made your subs, then it takes heat off of Tata. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, and like you ask, we were winning. Like, how were we winning? This was how this lineup was set up to press in specific situations, win the ball in dangerous positions, and counter. And that's what we did for both goals. But to do that, you have to have players that can also spark the counter and break the counter, like a Rojas, like a Gomez. And by taking Rojas off, like we talked about, you completely parked the bus when you took Rojas off. So, okay, if you're going to do that, put on Ian Frey. Put on Ian Frey and put him at center back. Do other changes to supplement the change in tactic, right? Like, we were winning according to the plan that I believe that had in mind. That's how I interpret the lineup that he put forth. It was never going to be a super hold the ball attacking. When we play with 3 at the back, it's never that way. It's never been.
So let's say that's what the plan was. You're up 2-0 and you want to park the bus. Ian Frey over Noah Allen. You put in Campana in for Suarez because that brings you fresh legs that doesn't mind getting back in defense. Like, there's so many things that's the thing. The possibilities were endless for Tata to do something mid-match, and he just doesn't. His in-game substitutions and adjustments are just god awful. God awful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it was the Rojas Gressel change is kind of sticking at me now, and I just feel like we didn't have the ability to, again, diffuse the pressure that Columbus was building up in an effective way, and then we still didn't make the changes in the back half to really stop Columbus, man.
Whatever. We gotta hold our chins up. All of our chins. We gotta hold them up and move
Pull your
forward.
chins up.
Yeah, we gotta move forward. This stunk. It would have been nice to win two of these in a row, and but there's a lot left to fight for, and everybody says it with Messi. Imagine with Messi, we're gonna get Messi back eventually. We gotta keep using these players, and yeah, I would like to imagine that this is the straw that breaks the camel's back with Tata, and we decide to move on from him, but.
Nah,
I don't see it.
It won't be.
Yeah.
It won't
It would
be.
be at the end of the year, if anything.
I hope that this is the straw on the back of Chelo starting.
Probably won't.
Probably won't. Yeah. Just my
what other straw do we want? And then we just disagree.
The problem
straw
is
for
that
never starting Noah Allen again.
No.
Just my last sort of comment here is I guess like the disappointment additionally of this match is, again, just showing that we can be Columbus again would have done a lot for the psyche, I think, of the league as a whole, for the club, for Columbus specifically, who will be in contention in the playoffs. I think it would have gone a long way in how the narrative sort of proceeds from here.
Maybe it could also have broken the camel's back on maybe like getting our subs in so late. Maybe that one.
No. Oh man. So well, now we get
mid game adjustments. That surely should change.
all
No
right.
camels. No
I-
camels
I-
in drive. In,
I think that
in
last
step
comment from Jose was the straw that broke the camel's back on this episode. So
No.
we got a little break now. We have the match on the 24th, so we'll probably go live to preview the Cincinnati match the Wednesday prior to that, which would be the 21st of August. So mark your calendars. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, like, follow us on social medias at the Heron Heads. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really disappointing result, and Inter Miami crash out of the League's Cup in dramatic fashion, unfortunately. But until next time, thank you for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami, and we will catch you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Thank you.